ahead and get started. Welcome to City Board's September 2024 public hearing.
Welcome back. We have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of things going on in Bushwick.
One of the Bushwick's biggest strengths has always been diversity. Everyone has their own experience. How do we collaborate to make sure that all folks are being represented? What's so important about community boards is we're the space for all that experience to kind of find a way to be expressed and hopefully a way for anything within that to be addressed. The way that I like to explain it, in the simplest terms, we monitor and inform the delivery of city services. That can mean anything from critical infrastructure, programs and services, things that anyone within the district might need. Being a district manager, you're wearing 11 different hats. You're facilitating board operations, you're facilitating administration, you're managing staff, you're building relationships with local elected officials, with agency partners, community stakeholders, you're running different kinds of events and initiatives. And then the two biggest responsibilities that are charter mandated are district needs, right, and budget requests. It's an annual report which we prepare every year. And then ULURP process, and that's Uniform Land Use Review Procedure. It involves big land use applications whenever zoning is changing. And as you can imagine, that has a big impact on what may happen or what a neighborhood may look like. So I was new to the City Council in January 2014, and little did I know that was going to be the onset of what would become a 6-year process that would result in the Bushwick Community Plan. Every meeting at that time, you're going to have kind of the same conversation with any developer. It's like, what's the affordability? What's the unit composition? There are these general things that would come up every single time. And I noticed that another Brooklyn community board had a responsible development policy. I was really curious, perhaps we could do something similar, but just expand that to include all these other things that we say over and over and over. So maybe we don't have to say them over and over. We can have this policy, have folks read it before they come, and then make sure that not only are they showing up prepared, but they're showing up already knowing what this community is asking for. And so from that plan, you have very specific zoning designations and proposals. It's also comprehensive. What do you need for health? What do you need for parks? What do you need for all these other entities? It was a big achievement. And it was not just because we made a plan, but it was who was involved. There had never been that level of collaboration in the community before with organizations, community partners, elected officials, and really set precedent for what community plans look like. When you're thinking about communities of color or marginalized groups, supporting folks that are in need or that aren't represented, it's always been something where I felt compelled, right, to be a voice. Because if there are no voices, then we're not going to get anywhere. When people are taking the time to show up because they care about something, and knowing that they may have a limited capacity, but finding a way to work with them. That's how I know that what we're doing is working. If we can have a district where everyone feels that empowered, I think that's the unofficial job, but that's kind of how I take it.